Boom, shakalaka.
All right, people, welcome to the Gamers at Large, episode 36. I am today's host, the Good Shepherd. I am here with our panelists. We have a lot of interesting topics tonight. We're going to start with Beer Hugger. Introduce yourself.
Man, I'm always first to go on the list, but I'm the first one in here. What's up, everyone? I'm your boy, BearHugger29, your big fat Canadian boy. Glad to be here.
All right. Twilight, you're up.
It's Twilight Bites, back again to the Gamers at Large. Happy to be here. Can't wait to get cracking.
All right. Mega, you're up.
Hey guys, make a gamer, Games Rose, or whatever you want to call me. Hey, how's it going? All right, let's go.
Jamie.
What's up, guys? Jamie Butterworth, aka Butterworth here. Sucking up another Sunday when our Raiders lose.
Wow, wow.
Mr. T, you're next.
Hey there, fools. It's your boy, Mr. T, made of adamantium plastic and ready to go.
All right, Red, you're up, my friend.
Wow.
This is Red Fox. I haven't tolerated taking fools lightly since 1991, and it's time to get down to it.
Okay. Zen.
Yo, people, what's going on? This is Zen Gamer here, back again with another Gamers at Large. It's this thing.
Wow. Some people are. All right. Well, Ken.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dr. Feelgood here, the guy with the smooth moves and nice tunes, always in a damn good gaming mood.
All right, people. Now this is how it's gonna go down tonight. Our first topic is a little heavy, so you guys prepare yourself. Jamie's gonna bring it up, and let's go, Jamie.
Alright, well, let's talk Gamersgate. The thing is, this has been brewing for quite a while now. Let's go ahead and give you the basics to get you caught up, because I know not everyone here has been kind of on the same page and kept up with as much as I have. But basically, everything kind of started 2-ish years ago, when Anita Sarkeesian came onto the scene and was pitching herself for her Kickstarter for her feminist frequency videos, all that stuff. That's fine. But what it did was it kind of did a shift in the industry, so that we saw places like Kotaku and IGN and these other big sites, they were actually frequently starting to post more social issues gaming articles, I guess is the best way to put it. And that stuff, especially as far as Kotaku was concerned, started getting kind of out of hand, and people weren't happy. And then indies started coming up too at the same time, and they were kind of being promoted hand in hand. And people just weren't happy in general. And up recently, there was a developer called Zoe Quinn, who was shown that she had intimate relationships with a number of people that were fairly high profile in the industry. And it kind of showed ties to possible, corruption, trading, cash for favors, trading, how to put this? Basically, it's just kind of being in relationships to get more high-profile stuff. But basically, putting all of that aside, what happened was it led to people digging more and more information about the entire thing, and we've kind of learned it went way beyond her, way beyond that entire segment. So we're at the point now. We already know that journalism, gaming journalism in particular, and really all journalism, mainstream-wise, has kind of turned to complete corrupt shit. Everyone's in bed with each other, one way or the other, whether literally or figuratively, and doing things for each other for favors. And now we're kind of, if everything's kind of coming out now, that even indie gaming itself, and not every indie game, remind you, but there are certain indie gamers, and I'm going to name drop here, like Phil Fish, who got funding from the Indie Game Fund. I think it's the Indie Game Fund. The Indie Game Fund, in turn, has a monetary interest in every game it funds, right? And that's like every segment of profit that this game would receive, they get a portion of it. And that includes things like winnings from contests, not only just sales, but any sort of funding that comes in. So a game like Fez would go to a major indie game festival, something like Indiecade, and it would the judges for the panel would be, a lot of them would be people that would have ties to the Indie Game Fund, who have monetary ties to the games that are being voted on. So we're now looking at there's actual evidence turned up for all this stuff. If you really want to go in deep, I suggest that you check out both Internet Aristocrat and Mundane Matt. And there's a hell of a lot more on Twitter if you go to the hashtag Gamergate and hashtag Not Your Shield also. But it's building and building and building and building, and just more and more comes out every single day. But let's open it up for discussion, and we can kind of go into more detailed information on that.
Well, from what irks me the most about this situation is, okay, we get it. There's so much corruption, it's ridiculous, and it's upsetting because it's screwing everything else up for everyone. But what bugs me is that they have the audacity to start slinging mud at at our moniker gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gotten to the point where they look at gamers as these misogynistic, violent, over-the-top, like, ignorant people, and it's not cool. And it's not like they're actually going mainstream with some of this shit.
Mm-hmm. And to kind of build off of that, there were recently 12 different sites that posted 12 different articles over a 48-hour period, all saying that the term gamer is dead. And not only that, there's the hashtag Not Your Shield was started by a black indie developer. Because, I mean, these people that are on this other side that are financially tied to this entire scandal were saying, oh, well, it's just because you're racist and you're misogynistic and so on and so forth. So these people got fed up, you know, because I think I'm the only white, no, me and Bear Hugger, I think we're the only actual straight-up white people here in the podcast. So...
Hey, I'm white too, damn it.
All right, I'll count you.
Yay!
But I mean, you know, people, and I'm sure you guys understand, a guy have gotten fed up for being tied, for being called that they're misogynistic and racist, and their opinions don't matter, when in fact they are of different ethnicities and minorities and different genders, and they're fed up. And so this black indie developer started Not Your Shield, as in saying, look, we're minorities, we're not your shield against, you know, all these allegations and this evidence. Like, we're not down with you at all. We believe the exact opposite.
Now, this as it stands, dude, I'm going to have to mirror what Shepard said. It is absolutely disgusting that these people with this apparent agenda or ulterior motive to it, I don't really know what the end game is, but they use Not Your Shield, which is very good, by the way. But they're using the name, the term, the group of persons who call themselves gamers as a shield for whatever it is they're trying to achieve. I can't say what it is. I don't know what the end game is, but it's no less disgusting. It is ridiculous. You got people here slinging mud and all sorts of ridiculously nasty terms at us, yet they're the victims. It's crazy.
That's the bullshit that bugs me out. They're the ones who did all this grimy stuff, but yet they're the victims, and we're like the evil oppressors, if you will.
It's crazy.
It's the thing that people do when they commit a crime. The first thing they do is project. That's all.
Yep. They try to divert that shit to someone else. Like,
Yeah,
no,
when you caught with your hand, when you're caught red-handed, first thing you try to do is to put the blame on somebody else. And you know, gamers, we're the scapegoat. We're an easy scapegoat.
Exactly. We are an easy target. Now, yeah, of course, there are going to be some asshats out there within the gaming community, and water is wet. So, you know, there's always going to be some clown, doesn't matter what group.
Yeah.
So how can he, you know, intrinsically say that? They're all the same. How can you actually generalize like that? That's what I want to know. You know, they're all the same. They're all misogynistic freaks. You know, we should get rid of them. They're all out to get our heads. And you're generalizing. You're calling everyone, doesn't matter how old, doesn't matter how young, from what walk of life. You're slinging mud at all of them. You're not picking them out and saying, hey, well, that one, because you know you can't. You can't. So this is one large, the way I see it, one huge cover-up so that they can get away with whatever they're trying to get away with, all this nasty racketeering and, you know, under-the-desk deals, and as Jimmy said, you know, money for favors, sex for favors, you know, all sorts of things, man. So the easy target are gamers because, again, we are viewed, whether true or untrue, as this large group of insensitive jerks. And unfortunately, we cannot change that nearly as easily as it is for them to make people believe that we are indeed what they're accusing us of. So it's a perfect crime. It is a perfect
Anything
crime.
where there's a social scene and there's money involved, you can bet your ass there's going to be scandal, man. And to be totally honest, anyone who's surprised that some shit like this is going down, even especially at this point in the evolution of the gaming, the gamosphere, as Red calls it, I don't know what you expect. I'm surprised this type of stuff
You're
hasn't
naive.
already.
Here's the scary thing. Barring the fact that we might not know about any of this if it wasn't for a boyfriend scorned.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's just one part of it. But here's the scarier thing. If this is going on an indie game level, what's going on the AAA multiplat level?
Exactly.
It makes that whole. Sorry. Sorry.
No, that's all I had to say.
No, it makes that whole Nintendo conspiracy look, and how like Microsoft, Sony, Activision, these third parties, it makes that whole thing look a lot different.
It makes it look like a whole lot more like what we're saying is true.
Well, what I was.
A better chance of being true.
Well, I mean, what I mean is that you never. Okay, there's the public face of what you see. Then there's the backroom deals where the actual work is being done. And, in a lot of ways, this stuff has a lot to do. It's very similar to politics. And, you see these people in public, they're like, we hate so-and-so, we hate so-and-so. In the back, they're shaking hands, eating dinner together. So, I mean, it's what you see in front is a facade. It's a show. It's there to make people think, oh well, they care this, they feel this way about me. They don't care about you. They want your money. It all boils down to money.
And don't get it twisted. This is a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar a year business.
Yes, it is.
Anytime you got that much money anywhere, there's gonna be some sick corruption going on, no doubt.
Yeah.
Just understand that. It ain't all kumbaya.
This is
kind of money.
This stuff is about money. And the creepiest, the creepiest thing about this is that, we're seeing a very I feel we're seeing a very small portion of just how deep the rot is.
Oh, dude.
We're seeing, like, right now, we're like that gardener who went out into his backyard and the tree was just looking a little weird, and they think just that one limb is rotten. This stuff is rotten to the core.
I liken it to the government and everything, like how we sitting back cussing out Obama and, that the legislation of the government and everything, when we have no idea what's really, really going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, we think we know what they're telling us about the war and everything, but, about ISIS and all this stuff, but we have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what's really going on in a country? You know what I'm saying? In all these different places that are so far away from us physically. Like,
Yeah.
It's worrisome. It really is.
I can definitely hear that, man. But you know what? With this whole situation and everything that's going on right now, all of this crap, I can predict exactly how this is going to, unfurl and end up and resolve itself in due time. One, it's just going to be swept under a rug somewhere. It's just going to be waited out by those directly involved, and it's going to fade. The next controversy is going to come up, take its place, and everybody's going to forget about bad old Gamersgate and all this other crap.
Exactly.
Or they are going to have to find, by they I mean the persons directly involved with this, they're going to have to find the perfect sacrificial lamb and just kill the hell out of that person. Have them shoulder all the blame, and the rest of them walk away scot-free. And as with the other situation, we're all going to forget about it, and it's just going to be all cool, roses and dandelions and rainbows everywhere. Everybody's going to forget about all of this, even though it's still going on behind the scenes, and that's going to be it.
I think it's going to be the latter, honestly. They usually do a sacrificial lamb. They'll put all the blame on one person.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit if Phil Fish falls under that definition somewhere.
I was going to say if it was him, I'd be all right with
That's
that.
fine. Screw it. He can eat it.
No, I think if they're gonna have a sacrificial lamb, I think it's gonna be Zoe Quinn.
Yeah, most likely, to be honest. She's the one who started it.
Yeah, they're gonna throw her under the bus, and they're gonna run her over like 3 or 4 times, metaphorically speaking. And they're gonna say, no, no, we didn't want to do it. She corrupted us. And
But
We
will
were
they?
just trying to do
But
our
will they?
job.
Because their first instinct so far has been to cover it up and protect her. So will they
And
do that?
divert.
well,
Yes.
they're not protecting her. They're protecting
They're
themselves.
protecting
Oh, yeah.
themselves. They can give a damn about her.
Once she gets inconvenient, and trust me, the way the internet is running now, I mean, we all know what happened with that, with all those internet, those celebrity pic leaks.
Oh,
You know, look, listen. This information is going to get out. If there's one good thing about the internet, information that you want kept secret, it's going to get out. So, so you know, they're going to throw her under the bus.
Oh, they
They're
are.
gonna
They
throw
are.
her under the bus. Phil Fish is kind of a. I hate to say this. He's an easy target. He's kind of a douchebag. But Phil Fish doesn't have the same type of baggage as Zoe Quinn.
It's like shooting
Unfortunately.
fish in a barrel.
And here's the sad thing about throwing her under the bus. If it does go down that way, all the social justice, feminism will go down with her, and they'll just turn around and say, "See, this industry is full of a bunch of, immature."
the patriarchy.
Right.
Trying to suppress
That's the
us.
sad thing that's gonna come out of it if they do throw her under the bus.
So
She kind of brought it on herself. I mean, here's the thing. You have to have in business, despite what many people may tell you, you have to have integrity. You can't just. I mean, I know people say, "Well, this is about making money." Yeah, as a business owner, I understand that. But if you have zero integrity, I mean, even though people, I made all this money. If you have no integrity, eventually it will collapse on you. Eventually, your corruption will come back on you, and when it does, I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's really, really bad. And this woman. I mean, it's easy. I mean, everyone has been tempted at something that was kind of, to take the easy route. Well, if I do it this way, I won't have to do X, Y, and Z. If if I know so and so, they'll help me get this. But your case is you're much stronger when you get things the right way than versus a nod and a wink and a handshake. Or in the
Prostitution. Let's
case,
just put it out there. Prostitution.
well, in the case of Zoe Quinn, a warm handshake,
oh boy.
allegedly,
An
but
oral handshake.
a
But you
very
know
warm
what?
handshake apparently.
I will say this though, as bad as what she did, is absolutely terrible, manipulating all those people. But I'm the type of person that gives props where props is due. Even if you do something bad, if you do it well,
She
I
did
gotta
her
give. Trust me, she wove a web of lies
got
and
paid,
manipulations so intricately that when
Dude, there's way more to the story than we know so far.
Oh yeah.
We haven't
yeah,
found everything.
when
Not
you take
even
a step back and you look at it, when you look at what you know in its entirety, it's impressive. It's
And
actually
she got
impressive.
paid too.
She put in the work.
Always the one.
Exactly, and all these people also donate to her Patreon account also, so they're financially supporting her every month, in addition to promoting her shitty games. Because I sat down and I purposely played Depression
Oh
Quest.
my god, you did
It's
it.
depressing to
Jamie,
play.
I got a question, Jamie. How'd you do that?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, but like to me, just the name in itself, Depression Quest. Who in the
I
hell
would
is
play that shit.
Did it make you want to slit your wrists?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm afraid to play that game because I might end up slitting my wrist, for real.
That's
You
not
know what?
funny, yo.
I don't know what all these SJPs, social justice SJWs, all the warriors out there and all of that, the persons with the whole feminist movement. Look, let me put it out there, and let me be the first one to say it if no one has said it before. If a dude put out a game as allegedly terrible as this one, same result. Same result. Just saying. It has nothing to do with the fact she's a woman. She made a bad game.
It's
and
not
bad
even
game
a
is bad
game.
I know.
It's not even a game. It's literally, this looks like something that you would have found on Newgrounds 15 years ago.
Exactly.
I make a better game in a week by myself.
Let's do a fun little activity here. I want you guys to click on the link that I just gave you and just listen. Don't play. Don't bother. Just listen to the music. And imagine you getting bombarded with that for like 45 minutes to an hour.
That's the song for the whole game.
Yep. It's variations of that.
Damn.
Okay, look,
Well,
listen. I
I'll tell you this
am.
much. If you don't have depression before you play this game, you'll have it afterwards.
I am a psychologist. That's my real life job and that crap. Thank you, Zoe Quinn. You know, you just made a lot of persons who share my profession very happy. They're about to get a lot of, customers, a lot of patients.
Well,
Seriously, you're gonna create them.
the ones that
en
haven't
masse.
committed suicide, of course.
Or the ones who haven't killed themselves yet. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. What the hell is that? Come
That's
on,
worse than
really?
elevator music.
No, don't.
No.
Come on. We have some good elevator
Elevator
music
music is
here,
the
man.
girl from Ipanema. This is worse.
That's what I'm
Dude.
saying. This is worse than elevator music.
Don't compare this to elevator music, man. We have some nice elevator music here, man. Some nice little samba. And you can figure it up there.
That is
This
true. You could jam to that. I
You
admit
can
that.
Exactly.
I think we need to get off this topic because I feel like I need to take a shower or something.
It does make you feel dirty.
Yeah. Hey, Twilight, you want to do yours next, or you want to, or Red?
Oh, we going straight to that? Okay.
Why not? Oh wait, Smash
Alright.
is last. You're not doing Smash.
All right. Well, I made a video, guys, about the Japanese Xbox One launch, and
Oh hell.
I'm not going to troll nobody. I'm not going to say that, oh my God, Xbox One is dead, because that's my point. When things like this happen, people act surprised, people act sensational, people act like it's the end of the fucking world until it just blows over. And that it aggravates me. That's not a healthy way to be. You see what I'm saying? So Xbox One is clearly bro dude heaven. Let's just be real. You check out all the commercials. I couldn't imagine a Japanese Xbox commercial. It'd probably be weird as hell. But it's for the American gamer and the European gamer to an extent, right?
The western part of the world, basically.
Yeah, the Western gaming world. And so when it came out in Japan with minimum effort, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I think that whole 24-hour launch thing was just to say, okay, we spent 24 hours promoting this thing in Japan. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why people were really. I don't think Microsoft was surprised. So people coming through and saying the Xbox One is done and it's dead, and the PS4 is better because it sold better. I don't really get that train of thought. You see what I'm saying? The Wii U is clearly not dead. Even though it's not selling as well in the West as it is in Japan, but the Japanese market is 30% of the market. You see what I'm saying? So that's a healthy piece of the market to be selling well, and it still has its appeal here in the West as well. So my point is, when things like this happen, and when it comes to sales, I just don't get why people act a fool like they do. I just don't, because a lot of this stuff is just common sense. You shouldn't see this and automatically assume that it's the end of the world for anyone. That was really
Well,
my piece on it.
if I could touch on, if I could touch on that though, man, I just have a question. Why is it that people treat Sony and the PlayStation as if they should be the only successful console? I mean, looking at this, just like Twilight just said, they're talking about the Xbox, One is dead. The Xbox is dead because the recent Japan launch. But as Zen has mentioned many times, the Xbox 360 only sold 1.8 million units over the course of 7 to 8 years. So it's not a surprise. And I mean, that's a whole generation. You sold less consoles in 7 to 8 years than Mario Kart sold basically in a week.
3 days.
Weekend.
But anyways, the whole fanaticism is what disturbs me. These fans are quick to stomp down on the competition and go over the top. It's so much overcompensation. I'm like, dude, if you don't like the Xbox, you don't care, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't buy it.
I mean, go ahead, T.
I was just gonna say that a lot of a lot of fans in this community will often say, "Oh, we love competition, we want competition," but their actions never really bear that out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was telling my Xbox fans, my Xbox friends over on my boy John Doe's podcast. Shout out to John Doe. That they were a little bit delusional about what was going to go down over there, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, they're not doing a conference. This is if you're going to launch a American, a Western styled, especially a console in Japan. You got to do a conference. You got to bring on some Eastern developers. You got to show Eastern games. You got to show Japanese type games because
no half-stepping.
Original Xbox didn't sell well, like you just said. So they weren't doing any of that. So for me, I'm not surprised by this, nor do I relish, or dance and think it's, and get happy about it because, like, the only people that don't want or that only want Sony to do well in Japan are the co-opted media and Sony fanboys.
Yep.
So, I mean, and there, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot more of them than there are the rest of us.
Well, my thing is,
I just don't get fanboys.
You want another business to do so bad. Well, I mean, what's the end result of your frame of mind? Is the end result really to say, okay, I just want all the games on my platform, basically. So Halo, Super Mario, all of that on a PlayStation. But the whole time.
Real quick, let me just say this while you brought that up. I don't want to say this real quick. If that's what you really believe, that's what you really want, all you have to do is look at Madden. Are you happy with only having one football game every year?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to get when only one person survives, one person thrives.
Exactly.
Yep.
Here's the thing. You can't want that and want video games to thrive and become better and maintain the quality that they had. One platform having the likes of Mario games and everything Nintendo has, the likes of Halo and the likes of, let's say, God of War, all on one platform. That's a doomsday situation if I ever did hear one.
Yep.
Because
But
when you
why
think
is it
about
that
it,
Just try to perform.
that's it. What reason have they now to try harder and improve on the quality of games, maintain the level that they've already achieved? Like I've said, and I've said 1,000 times, why try harder when good is good enough?
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, you just, Mr. T just said it perfectly. I mean, people complain about why is Madden the same game every year for the last 5 years.
Why do you keep buying it?
You keep
Same
buying
code. Because there's no competition.
You don't have to try. Exactly. They got the
There's
monopoly.
no reason for them to step their game up.
That is not good, people. So
Well,
for
give it
anyone wishing for this one platform monopoly, be very careful what you're actually wishing for, which is pretty much the end of good games. Because they can bring up any crap they want to at that point, and really there'll be no ramification for doing so, because who else are you going to go to for games? There ain't no one else.
You know what I really
son.
think is truly of that mindset is the PC gamer for some reason. These PC quote-unquote elitists who run around and talk about the consoleization of games and why consoles are the reason why games have gone, downhill. I don't understand that, because if you're getting the same games that all the consoles get, you're just playing them with better graphics. That doesn't mean that the actual game itself has suffered any quality gameplay-wise or anything based on, the fact that it wasn't on PC. They for some reason seem to be spreading that ideal, the most. In my mind is this destructive, no competition style of, what gaming needs to become. Everybody should be gaming on PC because it's the superior console. I don't get that.
No, this is.
I know I didn't mean to break into hating on PC games too much, but
Yeah. But I mean, I was about to just expand on that just briefly and say, entirely subjective. This is my opinion, but a PC, in my opinion, is a PC. It's a personal computer.
yeah.
It does games too, but notice what I said. It does games too. It's not its primary function. So that's the way I will have thought of it forever now, and I will continue to think of it, because really, it's an all-purpose machine. It's not for games, even though it does games.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. I mean, whatever. I mean, you can think of it however you like. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. But I just can't live in a world where, as per these PC gamers wish, the only thing to play on is PC. I think that's the day. From someone who honestly believes he'll be gaming to the minute he dies. That is honestly the day I hang up the boots, I put away the controllers, wrap up them cords, and say, you know what? I'm done.
Yep.
You lost your mind. I'm just gonna play all my old games.
That's right. That's
Oh,
all.
well, yes, I can do that.
I'm gaming till I die,
That's
son.
how long is big enough.
That's depressing though, y'all. Cause you to be honest, we can say that, you know what I'm saying. But to be honest, I want games to continue to grow in a
But of course,
positive way.
we're just kind of joking around, dude.
Okay.
We're being
I hope
facetious.
so.
Indeed.
There we go.
That's not a satisfactory end. You know, that's not a way I want my gaming career to end. Is playing games that came out in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
It's cool.
Well, you got the 90s and the 2000s and until now,
Yeah.
too.
I want to
I
know how it will
shouldn't say
be
that like that, but
in the year 2100.
oh, hey, games, you're here. What's up?
That's what I want to know. And actually, me and Zen had the offline discussions, right? We actually talked about this, and it's
Right.
yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
And basically, we were having a thing of like, how is gaming, or how will it be in like 2100? And like,
Yeah.
I think I had to be like 140.
The holodeck from Star Trek.
We were joking around and
Yeah.
saying, imagine how it is now. You know, there's a Call of Duty game coming out every year, and maybe one every day, 100 years from now.
that's not
And then, like we'd be like, everybody would be like all of us would be those like naggy
Yeah,
old
I'm
people
telling
being
you,
like,
it's
you kids play these type of games we used to play on this. You see this? This is an NES controller. It only has 3 buttons. What are you gonna do about it? Right now, your controllers have like motion sensors in your hands, and you got these weird dingy-majiggies. And you got controllers with 80 buttons on them. How do you do this?
Hey, well, people nowadays,
with the static. Okay.
What?
what?
Somebody had static. I heard Mike.
Yeah, that went really crazy.
I was asking, have you guys seen the movie Gamer with Gerard Butler?
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I can see that happening in about 20 or 30 years, if not sooner. And we all know that the best-selling game will probably be Call of Duty if it's still around.
No, I think in 100 years they'd get to the point where it wouldn't even be a holodeck. It would be beyond a holodeck. They would plug a thing into your neck, and it would plug into your central nervous system, so you would literally be in a game, Matrix style.
Listen. Yo, that sounds like a great idea, but have you seen Sword Art Online? Just saying.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not.
I wouldn't do it either. I would.
Hey, I'm not.
I just want it to the point where it's to the holodeck, and I'm happy. Anything above that, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm not letting anybody hack my head.
But I must warn you, though. No offense. This is not directed to you, but people don't realize if you go to the holodeck level, you no longer can be a lazy gamer.
Yep.
Which is true. But let me just put it this way, guys. You know what? If EA survives 100 years, I doubt it, but if they do, come on, stop scoffing. If they do, it is entirely possible. And this technology
Money, those
exists.
bastards.
I am not uploading my mind to any server run by them.
No, I think
I'm not doing it.
I think for me, the future of gaming, is going to be more along the lines of like holographic and stuff like that, and you just got like a glove that you put on your hand, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah, we were saying that in the 80s. Still ain't got that.
No, but I mean, well, that's the thing though.
Because we came with the power glove.
Reality last generation when we had power gloves back then and other things that try to manipulate it. But I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the things that we saw in the past come out and be a mainstream kind of thing, you know. And I think holographic is definitely one of the things we're going to eventually see. Along with having like the ability of like putting on 2 gloves and like there you go, you manipulate everything in the objects, you pick up weapons yourself and everything else like that. I mean, we're already starting to see something coming to fruition like that, not from the Project Morpheus or the Oculus. It's more along the lines of like people are already starting to create like these virtual like holographic kind of stuff. Now people are starting to work with technology like that. So I think that's where the future is going to go. But as far as 100 years down the road, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't care because I'll be dead, so I don't give a crap. So I don't care where gaming goes. I just don't want gaming to end anytime soon. That's what
Human beings, we're
Twilight
going to be
said.
living a lot longer, right? We're going to break the century mark more and more.
Well, unless they come out with some kind of like medicine that allows you to extend your lifeline by an extra 300 years.
That's
All right. We
That's
probably need to focus back in on the topic at this point.
Let's move on to the next one. Excellent point.
Yeah, we've gone
Excellent point.
way
That's my
further.
bad.
Yeah,
All right,
ever intended to.
Red, you're up. Unless anybody has final words, sorry.
About the you want me to about Twilight Bites? My problem with the Twilight Bites, or about the
Yeah, why not? Go at it.
Okay,
Man,
sure.
you really want to know?
My only thing is this: Microsoft talked a really big game, and Japan is like what, the third biggest market for video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes U.S., then Europe, like all of Europe combined, and then Japan, and like it kind of bounces between those two. They jockey for first and second, and it changes every like 2 or 3 years or something. But I mean, it just like you can't like. As someone who has imported like big, huge arcade cabinets from Japan, I know it's costing Microsoft more money to ship Xboxes from the Foxconn factories in China to Japan than they're gonna make selling them in Japan, and that's like mind-boggling to me. I'm like. Literally, I can't believe someone would do that. I mean, I know Microsoft has more money than God, but I mean, you don't have more money than God by spending money out like that. Not for long.
Well, think about the Xbox 360. I mean, they lost what, billions. They pretty much operated for 8 years at a loss.
They barely broke even, honestly.
So, in my opinion, they can do that for 8 years. They do it for the Xbox One for another 2 or 3. To be honest,
insane.
Well, it's
Microsoft
up to the chairman of the board, though.
They're insane. I mean, Microsoft is like when they say don't fight a crazy person. They're crazy. That's insane. That's business insanity. I mean, I know Microsoft as a whole has a monopoly, a stranglehold on the operating system market, and a lot of the patents, like they own like what 50% of Apple, so that old argument doesn't work anymore. But I mean, just strictly gaming, just looking at the gaming division of Microsoft, gaming division of Sony, gaming division of Nintendo, these people are insane. They're like a crazy. I mean, I wouldn't. Oh, they're insane.
No, see, that's just the thing, man. The bottom line is that someone somewhere in the halls of Microsoft, didn't do their research. They didn't look at the previous numbers. The Xbox One's predecessor did. They didn't look at the culture differences. They didn't look at the types of games Eastern gamers, tend to like. They didn't adjust the launch lineup. They didn't adjust anything.
Can I propose an idea?
Hang on. And they just ran with it. But to say they didn't do their research would be a little bit of a misstatement, because research indicates that you need to look for facts to prove or to suggest what you need to do. But it's there. It was plain as day. I mean, you don't really have to look. So someone didn't do their work. Someone made a huge mistake in launching this system the way they did. Personally, because it's really easy to speak like this, armchair analyst stuff, in hindsight. Personally, what I would have done is I'd have waited to launch the Xbox One in Japan, which is a tier 2 country, in terms of launch schedules for them and for Microsoft. I'd have waited a little bit longer until something like Scalebound was out. I would have waited to launch it perhaps with as early as Sunset Overdrive. I would try to appeal to the Eastern gamer, the Japanese gamer, a lot more than they did. Because let me tell you something, as much as they're giving away Dance Central Spotlight with all the bundles that come with the Kinect, that's good. As much as they're giving Kinect Sports, which may garner some interest. Bundling Titanfall with the Xbox One, a purely American console in Japan at launch
No,
moves no one.
yeah, you need some
So
excitement that appeals to them. That's
it
not their thing.
exactly. I mean, if you had to pay someone to do a remaster of a recent Devil May Cry or something like that, then do it. Don't launch it with something you clearly know that your target demographic will not buy in
Yeah,
droves.
I definitely agree with you on that, Zen, that I think Xbox definitely busted the move a little too early with that, releasing it in Japan. However, I think this time around, I mean, they're aware of the numbers of the 360. That's already a given. But I do think this time around, I think Microsoft's going to put a little bit more of an effort into bringing out, Japanese authentic games in Japan, like the Japanese market that likes those RPG kind of games, that kind of stuff. I think you're going to see Microsoft actually do more of a bigger push in that country for this system.
Well,
Honestly, if they didn't see the numbers, then I don't even know. I have no faith in Microsoft, period. But I'm pretty sure they're aware of the numbers, and I think they actually have a lot of plans in that market area to do something bigger for them. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but time will tell.
the problem is
Also,
they did that with the 360. They made a pretty decent effort with Eastern type of games with the 360, and we got 1.78 million sales after 8 years. And
See what killed
there was a time when this is the problem. This is the main problem. One of the problems is Microsoft botched the American launch. So
Yeah, that's true.
so I knew the Japanese launch was doomed, but on a bigger scale, there used to be a time where game consoles or game manufacturers used to cater to the different regions. You'd get, obviously you get some of the similar games, but sometimes you even get a different design on the console itself. Remember when we used to do that?
Yeah, I
yes.
remember that. Yeah.
You gotta understand, Japanese gamers don't want this big ass box.
No,
They
in their
like
little
these
domiciles. They don't want that. They
Nope.
live
limited space.
right.
With the Famicom and the old NES.
It's
Look at
much
Exactly.
smaller.
You
Well,
gotta
plus
cater
also-
to the region, even in the design of the console itself.
I mean, if you look at the sales numbers of the actual console itself, that's also hurting really bad too. I mean, even though sure the Wii U could be selling like 5 or 6 up to 8,000 per week, but that's small.
That's still tiny as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, Microsoft's just gonna get demolished in that country, man.
Can I just finish this topic off?
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
ahead.
All right. And the idea I wanted to propose was I don't think it's so much as an anti-Nintendo thing, so much as a let's be indifferent to Japan type move. Okay, so Microsoft didn't really make the kind of effort that we would have thought that they should have made in Japan, and it seems like the overall attitude toward Japan, just as a whole, when it comes to gaming, is for the West anyway, is that we don't care. We don't want to care. We want to pretend that they don't really exist and focus on what's going on in the West. Now that we're finally free of that kind of Japanese reign in terms of quality and sheer volume of games coming out. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see that, and I'm starting to see that Xbox, especially like the Xbox people who defend what happened, they're kind of like, oh well, screw Japan. They just like them hideous, stupid, goofy games anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how the media pretends to be too. Like there are certain websites that have to be made, like Silicon Era and everything, that focus on the Japanese side of gaming because IGN doesn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Some
the real
Nintendo
shit.
sites don't even do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get any idea of what's going on in Japan gaming wise. You don't. There's a whole arcade scene in Japan. You see what I'm saying? And we don't express any value or any desire. I mean, Tatsunoko versus Capcom was that game. I still can't believe that game even came out in America. You see what I'm saying? Like that's a literal
Thank
Jesus came
goodness.
down and made that a miracle. You see what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. We can get that kind of stuff over here like that if we just express some interest. But because the vast majority of us don't, you know what I'm saying? So Microsoft not coming out. Microsoft probably did this as a sign to its fans as well. Like Japan don't really support us. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gonna have to support us in the West and have this kind of negative attitude toward Japan. You see what I'm saying? It's starting to become clear to me. You see what I'm saying? And so Nintendo being a Japanese developer, you see what I'm saying? You're starting to see first that companies like Square Enix, Capcom, they're all assimilating to the Western style and failing at it. And everyone, no matter what side you're on, we come down on Capcom. We come down on Square Enix hard. You see what I'm saying? When Activision and them do something that sucks, you don't really hear that much about it. You see what I'm saying? EA, you don't really hear that much about it except for people from, who have a Japanese taste like us. You see what I'm saying? It's just, I kind of lost my train of thought. I hope I'm making sense though. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just starting to see. Go ahead, Red.
No, I said you hit it. You hit it on the nail. The thing is that like it's like people want to treat it like it's a completely different beast and like a throwaway. But I mean, you can't afford. I mean, I guess Microsoft thinks that it's gonna do well in China. Like, because even if they get a very small portion of that install base, like the rich people who live in China or the middle class who live in China, that's good enough for them. But, I mean, the Chinese aren't completely like the Japanese market, but they want value, and they want to feel that they're getting the best. But the thing is that, like the Japanese, I mean, that Red Ring of Death thing killed the Xbox in Japan. It could have had a chance, but when they saw that, they were like, no.
They're all about quality assurance. They're like, this machine
like
can fail on this?
I mean,
like, oh, hell no.
Japanese people buy a console, they want that thing for life. Like, I went to a dude's house there. This dude had all of his original stuff, and I mean in pristine condition. All of it. The NES, the Famicom, MSX, Shark 3800. I mean, God, So, I mean,
Japan,
they want quality, and they don't feel that Microsoft is the best in Japan.
I mean, you want a console that can handle the own heat that it creates. You know what I'm saying? Like, these consoles generate heat, and they can't even handle their own heat. See, like that, Japan knows that that's what's coming out of Microsoft. So I don't see where the surprise comes in, really. You know, we can finish this topic if everyone.
Yeah, let's move on, gentlemen.
Cool.
Wrap it up.
All right. Well, I guess I'll throw in my topic. Handhelds. What's really going on with this whole handheld market and the mobile market? We have the new 3DS that was mentioned recently. Vita, which seems to still be slowly dying. All the system support. I'm not being facetious. I'm just being honest. I'm still thinking about getting one though. We'll see.
I'm gonna get one too.
And of course, all these possible mobile games. Let's talk handhelds and portable gaming. Who would like to jump in first with this topic?
I just got one thing to say for now, and that is I'll start out with the worst part. Kim Kardashian.
Oh no. Why do we have to bring her back up?
No,
because
the
name that shall not be mentioned. Okay, you're not allowed to speak anymore, Ken. Let's talk the new 3DS a little bit because it's the first Gamers at Large episode since it's been brought up. Now that we have everybody kind of here, we can touch that a little bit and then talk more about Vita.
All right. So the new 3DS, right? Okay, so basically, with this one, I think it's really just prototype for the next handheld, because they're actually planning to do a lot more stuff with this. Right now, they got it where you can transfer files with the PC, and you can transfer files with music, photos, etc. And now they're gonna even put more connectivity with the Wii U. So it's really just preparing, I would say, for the next handheld and console. So it's really this I would say is an experiment. This is an experiment handheld, just to see what they could do, and also plan out for what the control methods they can use for the future, and also plan for features that they can implement for the next handheld also. Because I would give the 3DS about another 3 more years because of this new model that it's somewhat more powerful and all this stuff, right? So it's gonna have some time at least, and That way, you know, they can really experiment what they can do between both of these platforms, and then they can implement it basically. And trust me, there's a lot of things that they can do. I already have a lot of ideas, but that's too much to even put it into this podcast. So, yeah, I honestly think the new 3DS is just, you know, a prototype to see what they can do in the future. So, yeah.
Nintendo Fusion.
Sorry.
I mean, if you look at
Put
the
the words right out of my
DSi,
mouth.
if you look at the DSi, like clearly the DSi was the predecessor to the 3DS. I mean, if you
Yep.
just look at the menu and the interface and the fact that they could take pictures and all these things, it's just a stepping stone. You see what I'm saying? It's an organic evolution towards something new. You see?
Yep.
And I just don't see how that can be a bad idea if it's never been a bad idea before. It's never ever been a bad idea. So
Well,
now all of a sudden,
it's popular to, you know, kick around this, you know, good old Nintendo. It's popular, so.
No, I don't think all the anger is bogus. I feel like some
Oh
of
no,
it
no,
is.
there is
Obviously.
some.
Yeah,
Dude, I
obviously
just
some
bought
of
a
these dudes out
3DS
here.
last year.
Right. So, like some people, you know, who just got one, or for me, I'm a little annoyed that Smash Brothers for Wii or for 3DS isn't gonna launch with this thing over here,
For real.
because you know I want to be able to take advantage of that, you know, control setup, you know, because it basically has all the buttons you know, had on the GameCube. So that kind of sucks. But you know, I think I bought one that I bought my XL about. I've had it about a year, and so by the
when
time
did
it comes out
XL
here, we're talking about a year and a half. You know,
Okay.
for me, anyway. So that's why I'm not as upset. But I can understand if you just got this thing, you know, last month or something like that, and you know, I can understand that. But you know, I also bought an iPhone 3G, and then boomed, like 2 months later, the 4 was coming out.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, and then when I got the 4, that was around the time the 5 was dropping. So this is what happens with technology, especially these days. So you shouldn't be too surprised by it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just, I mean, educate yourself. Don't, people are just so quick to jump to conclusion. Yeah, I know I shouldn't say educate. But anyways, educate yourself of what you're dealing with. If you're a gamer, you need to know how the gaming industry runs.
Yep.
Because you can't get upset for something because you just didn't take the time to try to understand. This is how it goes. And you know what? Some of these things have been in the work for years. They just finally made it cost effective so they could start mass producing it.
And by the way, your 3DS games that you currently have will still run on this thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
your DS games will still run on this thing. So
Yeah.
You know what? I have an even better example. If there are any Capcom fans listening in, how did you feel when you bought a game and then 4 or 5 months later the Turbo Arcade Edition came out?
That happens to
Oh,
me,
God.
actually.
I mean, nothing against Capcom, but I'm just saying, I think we've all felt that.
Outside of Ace Attorney and Phoenix Wright and friggin' Monster Hunter, Capcom has been garbage for the longest, unfortunately.
yeah, outside the handheld, basically.
Like that's the
Oh,
only reason.
yeah,
That's,
there you
that's
go.
the reason
Outside
I actually
handheld, they've been
avoided.
garbage.
That's why I actually avoided buying, you know, like Street Fighter 4. It's like, watch, it's gonna be like some kind of championship edition, and lo and
And you were
behold,
right.
it
You
came
were
out.
right.
And that's why I didn't buy Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, because lo and behold, like after 3 came out, then the Ultimate came out. So it's like, yeah, you just wait. So it happens all over the industry, especially with electronics and computers. No one should be surprised.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm one of those people. I got my XL like 2.5 months ago, and I mean, I guess there are people in my boat who are mad, but I'm actually like, I'm the only thing I'm upset about is that it's not coming out this year in the Western market, because I mean that would be a swell thing to have with that would be a swell thing to like to come out with the 3DS here.
Yeah.
I mean that would be awesome. I mean,
Maybe they knew that Americans would cry their behinds off if they said they were announcing it and it was releasing in a few months. Maybe they have a whole nother plan for it out here, a whole nother marketing campaign. You see what I'm
could
saying?
could be. I will say this much though. It looks. This looks like this is going to extend the life of the 3DS. It looks like it's a twofold thing. It's going to extend the life of the 3DS, and I think Nintendo really finally, once and for all, wants to stamp out the Vita in Japan. The reason I say this is because this thing is more powerful, so it will have the power to run those games that a lot of the Japanese developers
We don't want to jump to
wanted
conclusions.
to put
We
on the
can't,
3D.
Well,
we can't confirm it's more powerful than the Vitanic.
No,
But
I didn't
it's
say it
far
was more powerful.
than
I
the
said that it's
current-
more powerful than the current 3DS.
Okay,
And they
sorry.
want to make it more powerful so that those games that would normally have come to the Vita will go to the new 3DS. Because it should be powerful enough for them to scale it to it.
Maybe.
And we know 3DS likes
the
to
thing
we
is
know
that-
Japan likes handhelds.
it's not. I don't think they're trying to slope out the Vita because I think the Vita has already been sloped. But it's
Nintendo
like,
don't operate like that.
yeah, they don't do that garbage. They just like they know they already own the handheld market, all right? So it's like, who cares, right? At this point, you can just do it.
Yeah,
So this is just basically being like, okay, we're just gonna use this to test out what we can do in the future, and well, bam, that's how it's gonna go. So, but now to get back with the thing is of talking about the future of handhelds, though. I believe that Sony, and now the thing is, it's gonna be a 50-50. Because I'm just gonna say they might come out with one, or they might not. Because Sony likes to make those decisions where they're just like, let's do it. Who cares, right?
So I was not going to
So-
say. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what was it?
No, I was going to say, because people tend to rule out the possibility, as unlikely as it may seem, they may actually come up with a different SKU of the PSP Vita that might actually rock. I'm just saying, because you know how they like to just drop bombs on people out of nowhere.
Yeah, because the thing
Just
is,
saying.
you never know. You never know. They could be waiting for a certain part. They could be doing this. They could be planning right now the same thing that the 3DS is doing, or what Nintendo's doing, is where they're waiting for this certain part of hardware to get cheap, so that way they can make even a better Vita. Because you never know, it could happen. I'm just saying, at this point, anything could happen.
Because look at the
So-
different
I don't think
iterations of
so.
PSP 3, PSP 3000, PSP
Yeah.
Go, PSP
So there's gonna be about like I would say three more models this time. But this time, because they always like to go by. Sometimes they always like to go by numbers.
I'm sorry, Rosie.
I'm
I'm sorry, Rosie.
No,
I was trying to remain quiet, man. I was trying to keep
no.
But here's
Lay it down, Zen. Lay it down.
you just had to
Oh,
come
it's
put it out there. Another version of the Vita. Another version of the Vita. Really?
Dude. Listen. It can happen. You can't rule that out. It can happen. It may not. At this point, you're at this point,
not
everybody's mindset. Of course, everybody's mindset right now is because how bad the Vita's doing. But we're talking about Sony here. All right, they just
Rosa,
don't care.
once again, another version of the Vita when you don't even have games for the original.
That's what I'm saying. That's the not
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. It's not that
No.
that Vita's doing bad. It's that
like the
Sony
Wii
is
U.
doing bad, and
Yeah.
they're not gonna pump any more money into the PS Vita. That's not gonna happen. They basically told you that by not even showing the damn thing at E3. There's not.
The thing I have to say though is if they're not pumping money into it, why is it still out there? Like that's just my problem.
Because they can't.
They're
Because
trying to recoup some of
Sony's
their
not
losses.
just
No,
going
they
to come out in
can't.
the open and admit
They're trying to
failure.
get rid of that current stock, but I'll still get another one.
Because the thing is, honestly, if that's the case, right now they should just get rid of it. Honestly,
Well,
because it's
I
like
mean,
They lose
I mean,
some money
I've
by
said this
doing that.
before. Drop it, put the money into the PS4 division, make some new games. But I don't know, man. I
because
don't
the
know.
thing is, right now, all those things that are on the shelves, they could at least sell them. At least try to. All right, at least.
Well, they are.
Uh,
Don't you know the Vita TP? They took the Vitas they couldn't sell, took the guts
Exactly.
out, put them in a little box, and that bombed too. So
That's
it's like,
why they did make a different model of it, right? So they made like what? So far, it's like 3 models. So
for
the
3
Vita
bottles
TV.
that bombed.
They did that to save money, though. They took stuff out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But the
They're
thing
trying
is-
to save money. That's why they had the revisions.
The thing is, though, right now, we all know the Vita's dead, basically. But I'm talking about with the next handheld. You never know.
I don't think they're
It's
going to
just-
do it again.
You don't
I don't think they're going to do it again either.
No, I think
the
they started with
PSP
not.
was heavily pirated. the Vita wasn't pirated, but it's commercially it's a failure. I mean, I don't think Sony is going to do that again. I don't see it happen.
You know, all right, yeah, I can see that
They were in a
because of the
different
fact
place. You
that
gotta remember, they were in a different place
yeah.
when the PSP came out. They're way below that place now.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that because of the fact that I just remembered a quote that Yoshida said that we might not even come out with the next console. It might just be a service. So
Yes, he
that's
did.
why they might not even put out a next handheld or a console at all. You know?
Just have a controller and a thing
Yeah, a
on the
controller. They might just go out and be
Or a
like, all right, we're
receiver.
selling you this controller.
and a receiver
You-
of some sort.
You can buy if you have a Sony TV, you can buy it, and then there you go. Basically done.
Well,
Done.
they already got two things in play that. In a
Yeah, they
sense,
do. They do.
Yeah,
They have the.
one is that whole PS Now, whatever. But another thing I just seen online the last few days was they were bragging about remote play on a Sony Xperia smartphone using a PS4 controller, thing, and I just laughed at it. But I mean, if you want to play Destiny on your phone, which not many people actually use a Sony Xperia phone, I just. Bottom line, it's not going to be another Sony handheld. It's not. This is the last one.
Alright.
In my opinion, this is the last one.
Because the thing is, now I have to. Now you guys swore me to now where they're not even gonna make me one because you guys reminded me about the quote that he said. So it's like now it's just like now I have to freaking.
I mean, they're telling you without telling you because they don't want to tell you.
Because the way it goes is right now is just, I guess. There's not going to be even PS5. Right now we're at the last number, PS4. So I guess, well, Sony, you had a good run. I mean, somewhat. You were great, but... Huh?
PlayStation had a good one, maybe not Sony.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, the thing is, well, you know what I mean. But the thing is, like, basically, PlayStation had a good run, and because it's like, you know, what else can they do? Because right now, to be honest, right now they have to be at that 10 million. You know, they have to be. They have to be up there, right? Because if they were where Xbox is, no. They're
I have
kind
a
of
question.
done.
Did they say 10 million sold or 10 million shipped?
Shipped.
I'm pretty sure they would never admit that it's probably shipped. Even if it was shipped, they would never admit that. So they may say sold, but they may imply sold to retailers.
Yeah.
So, because they rarely ever come out and say sold through to consumers because it's really hard to identify that number.
To tell you the truth, I mean, between the three consoles, Sony's in the lead. Nintendo's falling up behind them, maybe down by 1.5, little bit, maybe 1.5, 1.8 million behind Sony, potential-wise, because we know when Smash Brothers drops.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
can't lead.
Well, there is a lot of people that are waiting for Smash to drop, man, because they want to wait for the
Smash
Wii U
Brothers
bundle.
is dropping on 3DS next week, and I'm gonna be looking at the Media Create charts, and I'm gonna be like, oh snap, 3DS just stomped everybody. So I mean, you know.
I don't care what y'all say. I'm waiting to play that PS All Stars remote play.
He trolling.
Hey, well, you have the chance because it's free on PlayStation Plus right now, so you can go.
Yes, it is.
It's free.
Yes, it is.
So do it.
I am not looking forward to paying a damn subscription. That's gonna suck.
Hey, you know what? On that Starbucks Wi-Fi.
That's that next gen, bro. That's the next gen right there.
But the thing is, we basically know right now that now we can go into the agreement where, all right, Sony's not going to come out with another one because now they're going to make it into a service, and also where, you know, Microsoft won't even bother with it because they don't even want to mess. But you also now basically Nintendo's at a monopoly with the handheld market.
They're at one right now.
Yeah. But well, not yet. I mean, yeah, they basically are, but you know,
as far as a dedicated hand, portable gaming console, they are at a monopoly. But as far as like portable gaming, period,
no, of course
not. Portable gaming,
smartphones.
And here's the sad thing that they run the portable handheld, gaming market as far as dedicated handhelds, and yet and still They
Hold on.
barely got any third-party Western support.
But
Yep.
one more thought though, one more detail I forgot about. Do you guys remember recently, probably about a few months back, that Nintendo said they're working on something to actually run mobile games on the Wii U and 3DS?
Yep.
I think there was more of referring to creating a mobile app in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be sweet if they get it to work beyond just that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean, this.
Which reminds me, what is the deal with their life? I forgot what it's called.
the life
Quality
quality.
of life.
Quality of life.
Oh no,
Did
no.
they mention anything
It's
about
like-
that?
You don't hear about that till probably next E3.
You know what
Yeah.
quality of life reminds me of? It reminds me of the vitality sensor. I need them to show me what the hell.
The vitality.
I'm sure they're probably gonna bring that back in a different form.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome.
Quality of life thing, I think
We have unlocked a secret power within the gamepad. You can see your heartbeat, and also
I could see him doing it.
blood pressure.
I could see Iwata doing that. But speaking about handhelds,
Like a wristband. That way, it
Yeah.
can reach your pulse on your wrist, amongst other things. But anyway, keep going.
But speaking about handhelds, I have a question for the panel. If Nintendo came out with a smartphone that also exclusively played their games and used their like Miiverse and all that other stuff, would you buy it?
Yes.
Possibly.
Who said
Oh,
no?
wait,
Who was it?
Maybe.
Me.
wait, hold on. It depends on how much it costs, how efficiently it runs in general. Because I
If
just
it
caught
was
myself. I had a fanboy moment.
If it was
No.
comparable to like if it cost around as much as a 3DS XL, and it had like you could basically you buy it and you could like put in a code kind of like how when you sync up your Netflix
Good to be
account
true, my
or
friend.
whatever,
Alright, listen.
Put in
I'm
the
gonna
code
tell
and-
you.
files or whatever.
It'll be an iPhone.
I'm gonna tell
That's
you
too
the
cheap for a
downfall.
cell phone.
I'm gonna tell you the downfall of that whole thing right there. First of all, then you
It'll
got
kill the
everybody
Game Boy
saying.
market.
Let them say nothing.
All right, the thing is, first of all, that'll be the stupidest thing Nintendo ever did. No offense, but the thing is, second, you got it where people will now be wanting games on other mobile platforms.
There we go.
Mobile
It
is mobile.
sets a dangerous
Open up a can of
precedent.
worms.
Yes, mobile
Exactly.
is mobile. If you put it on mobile, it has to be available to everything. All right. Now you can make it available on something, but the thing is, when you're in a mobile service, you have to go with either Google or Apple. That's how it goes right now.
Or Windows.
That wasn't what I said. I said if Nintendo made a device that also did
Like
a
they made
phone.
maybe they make
But
a
it was
deal with, like,
only
Apple
their
or
thing.
something.
It was only their thing. It was like Google and Android and Apple iStore had nothing to do with it. It was their stuff. Kind of like how they do now. You buy Nintendo stuff to play their stuff. But it would be a device that
Again-
was also a phone.
Again, people will
We play
want
their
those on their mobile phone.
Let me
They would,
explain
but
why
they
that's not the
would be on
case.
their stuff. It'd be like it is now. You can't play DS stuff or 3DS stuff. You can't play Nintendo stuff unless you have their hardware.
Let me
So
explain
it
why
was
that's
well,
not the case.
actually-
Give them a chance.
Emulators. But yeah.
Let me explain why that's not a
Legally.
downfall. Alright? If Nintendo created their own phone, their own proprietary phone with their own proprietary chargers, imagine a phone that you could charge it, and then you use your 3DS charger to charge your phone. Okay, man. If they made something like that, then no, they wouldn't have to put it through. If they ran a phone service through their own thing, and they, send it out to Verizon and stuff, and it was just their stuff, no, you wouldn't have to put it on the mobile. That's like saying Nintendo has to put Zelda on PlayStation because it's a home gaming platform. That's the same thing. That's not.
Here's the thing, though. We run into the same problem from the gamer side of it. I mean, business is whatever, but from a gamer consumer's point of view, we run into the same problem as that we currently face with mobile gaming. Nintendo exclusive device with only Nintendo games. It only will be on this device. It will be made by them, and produced by them entirely. However, no buttons. No buttons. This is not. Phones are not gaming
Right.
machines. Again,
That
it's the
would
same
kill me.
point. I gotta go
That
back
would kill
to with the PC. PC
That would
personal
kill me.
computer, it is a multi-function device. A phone now is a multi-function device. It is not meant to play games. Can
I
you
have a
imagine
question.
playing Smash Bros on a phone? No, that would be
I have a
absolutely
question.
terrible.
what if it was the clamshell flip design with the buttons and everything, but you use the touchscreen to make the phone calls?
Don't care.
No.
I'll tell you why. I don't care because I don't want to play games on my damn phone. I'm just not that guy.
Exactly. And the
I'm not
thing
that
is,
gamer.
think of it though.
I like having something that's actually dedicated to gaming. Like
Right.
That exactly.
This is what I talked
'Cause-
about earlier. I mean, let's say you do, even with the whole PS, remote play or whatever, or with this cell phone idea. Imagine while you're playing one of these games,
You get a phone
and
call.
all of a sudden you get a phone call.
Text
Like,
message,
I mean,
email.
it's ruined. I mean, it's ruined. See, like they say, PC and mobile, those are multitasking devices. Even though you may be able to shut something off at the same time, any kind of notification can come through and ruin the experience, slow it down, make it lag, whatever it may be. But you don't have to deal with that with a dedicated gaming device.
You know
Okay,
this though.
alright.
You know this also is that would be bad because of the fact that then that phone that thing is not meant for gaming. Because right now phones are just PDAs. Okay, that's what they basically are now these days. Are PDAs. And the thing is, yes, they have the function. It's just like a PC, right? They have the function to play games. But remember, what does a PC, in order to run the game at least smooth in whatever frame rate you want, what do you have to do with your PC? Right? Upgrade it, modify it, do all this stuff, right? Phones, you have to always buy the new version of the phone like crazy, if you want to play this certain or do this certain kind of feature. Now, if Nintendo were making a phone that was basically a phone but can play all the Nintendo games, but it's not dedicated to Nintendo games. It's basically dedicated to doing all the other stuff.
Yeah, one last point from me at least. I don't know what the current, obsession is with this current generation and technology in general, all these people who do these things, with folding every goddamn device into one thing. Personally, if I lose my phone, I lose my phone. I didn't lose my phone, my PC, my game machine. I didn't lose all that. I lost my phone. I now have no ability to call someone, but I have everything else. So I don't see what the obsession is in folding everything into this one device that can either be easily lost.
You know what? I
That's
agree with that because we've been in
that's how technology runs in general, though. They usually try to consolidate everything.
Yeah. Well, the
I'm
reason
not saying it's always the right
It's not always
choice.
a good
That's just how
idea.
it goes. Yeah,
You
exactly.
can drive a car with your foot. That don't make it a good
That's
idea.
not-
Oh no,
Good
I'm
idea.
not saying it's
No,
wrong.
I know you're not. I'm
That's the
just saying
trend.
that.
The reason I asked the question, and I was kind of playing devil's advocate for a bit.
Mhm.
The reason I asked the question is because you hear that from a lot of gamers. They want Nintendo on Nintendo games on other platforms. We're seeing Sony, like I've seen articles all this week, with you can connect a PS4, no, not PS4, a proprietary controller to an Xperia phone, and you can play streamed PS Now stuff on there. And I'm like,
Yes.
Red, hold on. Let me
why?
say,
Too
Red,
much.
let me say this one thing. To hell with those gamers, because those gamers are. Hold on, these gamers are the reason we fucking have the Xbox 360.
Oh.
We got a multimedia gaming console instead of just a gaming console.
I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you.
That's what I don't agree with.
Personally, I'm old school. I like a console.
Before
I
the
like
Xbox
a
360
handheld.
and the PS3, what do we have? The Dreamcast played games. The GameCube played games. The 64 played games. They had things you could probably buy to expand on your gaming, such as, the RAM expansion pack, things like that. But it was for games. And then we got an Xbox 360, and then we got Netflix on it. Then we got Hulu, and then we got the IGN app, and then we got all this other shit. It's like they're not gaming consoles anymore. They're multimedia set-top boxes. And that's why
Yep.
I respect
Devil's
Nintendo,
advocate
because
one more time,
when it
though.
came to the Wii, they refused DVD.
And that's why they're so damn expensive too.
Come on. Let me play devil's advocate one more time. All right. One more time,
Go
because
ahead.
we gotta think on a higher frequency to this. Let me say it. All right. It's all about execution with these customers. So if Nintendo, say for instance with the phone, if they released the phone that had a minimum of all of extraneous features, like they wouldn't have the phone would only have the eShop, right? Instead of a whole app shop and everything like that, where you just had all those crazy, indie quote unquote phone game developers. It would just be
Language
really like the
jokes.
3DS eShop on the phone, right? You'd have a minimum of apps, like you might have a YouTube app, you might have a Netflix app, something like that. And it would really be basically, I'd say in 20 years they could do it, where they put basically what is, a new 3DS in a phone, and it'd be compact but still durable enough to have a fold out for the gamepad, you know what I'm saying, like the buttons and everything. If they executed that properly and said, hey, this is for the mobile gaming market, mobile phone gaming market, and it was a good product, I just don't see what's honestly wrong with that. Now, what's wrong is when they say, "Oh, Nintendo should just release the games on the iPhone," the Apple Shop and the Google Play and everything like that. Like there's something wrong with that.
So are you saying that it should have it should only have an eShop where you get Nintendo-centric games, or should it have Android and
What I'm saying is,
because if that's the case, we already have
hold
the
on, T, that's not what I'm saying. That's not at all what I'm saying. What
Okay.
I'm saying is basically what you have on a 3DS, but mobile with a phone. I'm saying a 3DS with a phone, basically.
But you already have a 3DS. Look, I have an iPhone. Listen, I'm quick. I have an iPhone, right? I have to charge my damn iPhone like 3 times a day already, without doing any video gaming on it.
You're not listening to me, though.
It turns on. It almost burns up if I talk on it for 30
You're not
minutes.
listening. No, not listening. You're talking about execution here. If anyone's gonna figure it out engineering-wise, it would be Nintendo. Let's have a phone that can play games and not explode. You see what I'm saying? If they figured out how to do that, there's no way in the world you can argue that there's a bad idea. You see what I'm saying? A 3DS
That's a lot of
phone
ifs.
that wouldn't explode. Yeah, it's a lot of ifs, but this whole subject is an if. So whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's just
But I already
how
have.
that could be a bad idea if it's executed properly. That's all I'm saying.
I have a practical phone already, and it was dedicated, at least in the beginning, to be a phone that does other things. And I feel like Apple and Samsung are pretty darn good at making phones. So if they can't come up with a phone that almost explode in my hand, I don't feel like Nintendo is going to be able to do that either. So that's just how I feel about it.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Alright, I'm gonna take a neutral stance on this one.
Nintendo can do anything. We all know that they're like Willy Wonka.
You're Nintendo, man.
To quote was then told me told me recently, Jack of all trades, master of none.
Ken, did you dupe yourself?
What do you mean?
I see 2 of you for some reason.
Oh, yeah, double cherry power up.
Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Keep going.
That is crazy, dude. No. Gotta correct that.
All right,
Never mind.
Let's go.
we move forward.
Final topic, or
Yeah. All right, let's kind of try to wrap up this topic because apparently there's a far more we can talk about handheld gaming.
I'm done with this. I don't know about y'all.
All right, so unless anybody has anything else to say, it's Smash Talk time.
Smash
Oh,
Brothers.
Lord.
No. It's not Smash Talk time. It's
What?
Why time, okay? That's what it is.
It's
It's
Ike
what-
time.
No, it's
Ike?
Shulk time, alright? That's how I was gonna go. Woo!
It's Smash time, you.
Okay, I'm confused. What time is it?
Smash time.
Smash time.
No,
It's actually 9:43.
because somebody's telling me, it's Smash time. We have Ryan time and Shulk time and Ike time. I don't know what time it is. Sorry.
It's Smash time.
It's Smash time, and we're gonna try to keep it in 20 minutes or less because we've been on here for about an hour and 20. We're gonna stay under
Right.
2 hours, people.
Well, Smash, bro. What can I say? It's almost here.
Did
Well,
you see
in
that
Japan.
latest commercial in Japan with
Yup.
the Mii's?
That was
Yeah,
great.
that was.
Oh,
That was
Every time I
great.
see that commercial, I want this game right now.
the Mii's. Yo, everybody hating on the Mii's, but let's just be real, okay? That's probably one of the most awesome additions to the game. Who in their right
Agreed.
mind has not ever wished that they could have gotten to some point in prominence where they were such a celebrity that Nintendo was like, hey, can we put you in Smash Brothers? And you're like, why thank you? I would love to be in Smash Brothers with a sword. Absolutely. And now you can do it. Oh my god. You can
awesome.
whoop Luigi's pansy ass if you want to. Oh. Ah.
Oh, I'm gonna pick my meat to beat up on that duck hunt dog for sure.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, trust me, that's 30 years. 30 years coming, boy.
You got it coming. He got it coming.
Yeah, shit gonna get real, son.
You know what? And I'll laugh if he's extremely overpowered.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm gonna have a
He's gonna be a troll character. That's a given.
man. I'm gonna have fun beating up on Ike, man.
Dude, what if he pulls out the Nintendo Zapper and like shoots people?
Oh my
That's
god.
his final smash, the Zapper.
And you know what? I can see his tongue being that damn laugh when you miss.
Right. The little snicker.
I just imagine them turning the whole stage into a pixelated field, right? And all the characters
Turn
are
into dogs.
pixelated, and the person who's the duck hunt dog has to shoot at the people. That'd be marvelous.
That's a
Dude,
awesome
I can imagine his final smash being like a whole bunch of like zappers pointed at the screen, and then like everybody just starts shooting because they think you're a duck or some shit. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that would be real trollish.
That would be awesome if like
It
you
would
can
be
use
fun.
if you can use the gamepad like if you to shoot if you're playing with it. Of course, if you
Yeah.
use the Pro controller, you're gonna aim with the sticks. And if you're using the Wii remote, which I don't know what the frick is wrong with you, but if you're using the Wii remote, you get to point at the screen like that. So it's just it would make it fun, you know, just to have
Have
that
you
kind
heard
of
about?
smash.
Has anybody heard of the new costumes and stuff that
Yep.
are supposed
I
to be?
have.
Yep.
So we have
They're all awesome.
we think Wolf is deconfirmed because Fox has like an exact Wolf replica costume. But we
Yeah.
also have what's his name? The certain version of Link from Majora's Mask.
Fierce Deity Link.
Fierce
Fierce
Deity.
Deity Link costumes available. Yoshi is purple and black. I love Yoshi so much that excites me. I don't know why. But who else? Dark Pit might be confirmed because Pit doesn't have his black wing, black cape costume anymore. So Dark Pit might really be in there. What's the other one? There's
Oh,
I think Dry Bowser is gonna be in there.
Well,
I'm not
there's
sure.
Olimar can be
Yes.
Elf instead.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
There's also a Diddy Kong outfit that's colored just like Dixie Kong.
Thank God. I don't want this to call him again. He's got a gender swap version. What else? And we're thinking that the Koopa kids are gonna have the similar type of model change as Olimar and Alf, and it's gonna change the actual name and everything too. And they're gonna be like, Iggy and Morton, in the game.
Yeah.
Oh man, this game is gonna
This
be too much.
game, I've said it before, Smash Brothers isn't just a game, it's an event. It's
Yeah.
a celebration of all things Nintendo.
It's a lifestyle like Monster Hunter or something. One of those games that's infinitely replayable, and for until the next one comes out 8 years down the line, you're gonna be playing it.
Yep.
Every month at least.
Yep.
And they're saying that the mechanics are their own. So Smash Brothers is not Brawl and it's not Melee. It's its own game, and there are certain things that came back from Melee and came back from Brawl. So it's like a nice little mix. So hopefully the competitive scene will be happy and shut the hell up.
Oh, you mean
Also-
it's not exactly like Melee? Well, that's it. Not mine. Sorry, can't do it.
No. See my hopes and dreams for this game will be that it becomes its own. It has its own scene. You see what I'm saying? That it doesn't necessarily exclude the prior competitive scene, but we can develop our own.
I like
scene.
everything I saw so far, man. Like some of the stuff they took out of it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see, what I'm trying to say is, I mean, for me personally, if it's not exactly like Melee, it's a shadow copy of Melee, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not. Somebody even said, I think Butterworthy linked me to him. He said it's kind of close to what Project M was, but not really, because he was just like, I can't do the game justice by saying that, but it's definitely between Brawl and Melee, and I like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, for those of you, if that flew over your head like Superman, I'm joking.
We got you.
I cannot buy it if it's not exactly like Melee.
It's got to be like
More
Project M.
characters. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I'm not looking to get death threats. It's like, you're not playing Smash? You're not a Nintendo fan? No, I'm looking for that. No.
Mario, Battle.
Yeah, I need to clear that up.
Nintendo exposed.
Nah, that's Cybercast.
Who has the 3DS capture card? Because we got to start recording it on a 3DS too.
I don't even know if they're. I mean, they have one, but it's like really ridiculously expensive.
Screw it.
Like $800.
No, your 3DS has to be completely modified from the ground up. There is a site that will sell you pre-modified 3DSs for like $400.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I thought there was a device you could use as a capture card device for the 3DS, but it was like ridiculously expensive.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
called the off-screen camera.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like plug in like the?
Yeah, it's a thing you plug into the cartridge.
Hmm.
Oh, you plug into the cartridge slot.
Yeah, not doing that.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. Well, I guess I'll be using my cell phone or a digital
Yeah.
camera
I'll
then.
just play the hell out of it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean
My
it's
viewers will have to just believe me.
it's all good because
I'm not big on playthroughs anyway, so I'm not.
like, but anyway, man, Smash, I just can't wait. It's almost here. Freaking Japan, man, they already get it next week, and
Lucky.
freaking over here we gotta wait 2 more weeks.
But dude, we got Destiny coming out next week. Why are you worried about Smash for?
You just
Oh, man,
made it
shut
feel
up.
worse.
Don't start that trolling stuff.
You just made
Because I can get, because I don't know, Destiny doesn't make me feel as anticipatory as Smash Brothers.
I already said what I do with that.
I don't care if you're a PlayStation only gamer. Destiny still shouldn't make you feel as anticipatory as Smash Brothers.
Hold on. Don't hurt him, Zan.
Yo, I ain't saying nothing. All I'm gonna say is Bungie drops mic, walks off.
Both. Look, I got a PS3, Wii U, and a gaming PC. And, I mean, I just.
Hip Hop Gamer got all the systems himself, but he's still a Sony fanboy. Oh, sorry, no name dropping. Shit.
Oh.
Can we put that out?
Single-handedly ruined the integrity of the games at large.
Well, guys, I'm sorry.
I'm not counting. I'm just saying, like, game systems that it's coming to. I mean, I've got tons of retro systems, but I mean, Destiny's not coming to that. Although, however much Bungie said they're spending to make it, they might need to do that later on down the line.
Wow,
Destiny
talking
coming to the
about Destiny.
GameCube.
Yeah, let's talk about Smash. Let's go back to Smash. Okay, so
Somebody
basically
else talk
Smash.
about it besides
Yeah,
me.
let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
Anyone seen
all these people, hold on. All these people in this Smash community, okay, are kind of pathetic to me at this point with Smash, with this new Smash, because you know, now they're angry that they can't do all the cheap stuff that they could in Melee, which is good.
I was waiting for someone to bring this up.
Yeah, because the thing
Melee
is,
or Project M?
Project M as
you
well.
know what? Both. The thing is, they will always want everything to play like that because it's the way they want to play, right? It's the
They
way
wanna
that it
exploit
works.
it.
Yeah, they
You know
want
what,
to.
though? I'm
They want
actually-
the exploits.
Let
I've
him
actually,
finish,
I've
man.
actually been in a discussion with a few people about that, and two guys in particular, like a couple of months back, and basically they were really trying to go ham because I mentioned one thing to them. I said, if you can't play a game the way it was meant to be played, because you can no longer use an exploit that was not meant to be exploited in that way, I said you really can't call yourself a competitive gamer. You're more or less an unfair gamer.
Mhm.
That's
just
like saying you can't play NBA Jam without putting in the infinite turbo code. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's just like-
yes, it's like
it's
yes,
just like-
it's there, but if you can't play it the way it's meant to be played, then you're not really much competitive. You're basically just a cheater. No disrespect to those out there that play competitively, but if you can't play without edge guarding, you can't play without all the other stuff that's in the game that even Sakurai himself said it was not meant to be used or exploited in that way. Then I mean, honestly, just stick with Melee because he's even came out and said that, hey, the wave dashing, we seen that close to release, but it wasn't meant to be used that way. It's basically a glitch or exploit. That's not something that everyone can take advantage of, no matter how old you are. It takes a lot of practice to master something like that, and he's trying to make this game where, whether you're 5 years old, I mean, this is probably an exaggeration, where whether you're 5 years old or 35, you can play this game and be somewhat competitive still.
No,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Where these exploits are concerned, there should be nothing in a game that could be labeled under exploit or shouldn't be there or wasn't meant to be used in exactly the fashion that you may be using it. But if through the removal of this exploit or this thing, this phenomenon, whatever, if that means that you can no longer use it, and by that notion alone, you're no longer nearly as good as you were, or nearly as good as you used to be, then in my opinion, you were never good.
Exposed.
It's just that simple. You were never good.
Yeah,
If
play the standard way and see if you win.
Exactly, because it carries me back to the most recent example of something like this, Mario Kart 8 fire hopping. I wonder how many of those who were up there in terms of, like real good in that game, if you took that away, how many of them would still remain at the tier they find themselves at right now?
Yeah.
So it's crazy,
And
man.
or on top of that, if you really go to a real competition and they say no fire hopping, too.
You know what's the thing too? It kind of reminds me also of speedrunners. Okay, and this is the way it goes. It's like they do. Some of these speedrunners actually play through the whole game and actually speedrun it fair. Others just find a glitch and then it takes them to the end of the game, which really bugs me. Where they're like, "Oh, see, I finished the game within 16 minutes."
Ocarina of Time.
Exactly, right? There's that. Yep, there's a glitch where it would transport you straight to the end and basically Ganon's tower.
Right.
Automatically.
That's not a speed run. That's cheating.
I gotta defend speedrunners here. I gotta defend speedrunners because that's not. Because I mean, there are people that actually spend a lot of time actually trying to hit these glitches exactly right. Because I mean, you actually see speedrunners. Like there was a Super Metroid speedrun with like 4 players all speedrunning at the same time during the Awesome Games Done Quick charity drive. And I mean, there was one point where one of the people just could not hit a glitch right. And I mean, it actually is a thing. Like, for the fastest Ocarina of Time speedrun, you have to have a specific cartridge running a specific bootleg Chinese N64 to play it. I mean, there's actually a lot that goes on there. I mean, there are people that do try to do legitimate speedruns from beginning to end, but at the same time, there's a different category for actual glitchers.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not taking anything away from what they're doing at all. I know that it takes a lot to get all those glitches and to figure all that stuff out. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm saying is that for me, a speed run is you going through the entire game. That's what a speed run is for me. I'm not saying that what they're doing is not. I watch that stuff. I like it. I think it's cool as hell. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying that I think for the purposes of Smash, we're saying that a glitch being exploited to make you better in the game is not. No, it's not right.
It's like saying pretty much. I understand what you're saying, Jamie, and trust me, I respect your opinion there on that. But it's like saying there's a group of, let's say, speedrunners, for example, here that do it the old vanilla way, and then there's a whole other officially recognized group of persons using a turbo controller. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no. Anyone here remember Tecmo Bowl?
Oh,
when you would choose plays, and people would some people you'd figure out why are they always beating my plays because they were looking at the screen when you chose your play. So I mean that's big, and then someone removes that, changes it. Oh, you cheated. No, they fixed an exploit. I mean that's what they did. I mean, are you good enough to actually read how the players are positioning on the field in order to figure out what play I chose, or were you looking at me choose the play? And that's basically when you hear people scream about that, get mad. Well, they got rid of wave dashing. Well, they made the game fair for people who might not have used wave dashing.
The truth of the matter is the game was made from the ground up. A lot of the characters were made from the ground up. Everything was redone totally. They didn't take Brawl or some build of Melee and then put something on top of it. They started all the way over. You're asking for the genesis of creation to recreate exactly what you want all the way over again, and that's just not the case.
And that ain't happening.
Let me address a certain person in a certain group of people who, for some reason, feel like they can say, "Oh, well, it's like taking drifting out of Mario Kart." No, it's like taking.
Did somebody actually say that?
You. If you think hard enough, you'll know who said it. But anyway,
I think I already know who said it. But anyways,
okay, yeah.
Drifting in Mario Kart is a part of the game that was put in there as a primary game mechanic. Fire hopping was not. Sneaking was never, anticipated. Wave dashing was never anticipated.
Yeah,
I'm cool with all that stuff. I'm cool that y'all figured that shit out. I'm not against it. It's just the truth of the matter is, this game coming out is gonna be its own game. Don't hold it to the standards of some other, to the glitching and the exploitative. That's not even a word. Exploit standards of a game that came out over 10 years ago. You see what I'm
Not
saying?
even that. They're holding
Enjoy the game for what it is and figure out how you can be as competitive as you possibly can
Exactly.
now.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
they're holding the game to basically a modded version of it. Like they actually changed
Yeah.
some attacks in Project M. Some of the characters' attacks, like Roy's, like they actually changed them around
Yeah, from
or added some
memory
to
even.
them. So how are those people gonna feel when it's like, well, when I played with Martha in Project M, he had this. It's like, well, dude, that was a mod. That wasn't the actual
Exactly.
game Sakurai made, and now you're gonna bitch basically because that's not in there and that was actually created. I mean, that's basically a hack.
Anyway, we this conversation turned negative.
Yeah,
The
let's
game
move on.
the game deserves a competitive scene all its own that is independent of any of the prior philosophies of Brawl or Melee, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that inevitably flourish, and it will, and I'll be a part of
I
it.
concur.
For fun with all bombs on. That's gonna be fun.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be infuriating.
Time to
You
wrap.
know what though? I will
Alright,
say,
guys. Now we're gonna. Oh, you
No,
what you about to
no,
say,
no.
Zen?
One more thing. I will say this though. I know he's probably never gonna see this, but if anyone out there got links to Sakurai, dude, if this game comes out and they find some kind of exploits, because they will. You know, they're gonna look at it. Those guys who count frames, they're gonna find something that's gonna be used, if not as an equivalent of what they found before in Melee. It's gonna be something else that's gonna be quite unfair to those who either don't know what it is, or cannot counter it properly, or if there is no counter. Sakurai, this is a direct message to you. Patch that shit out. As soon as they make it known, patch it out. Just do it right away. Just out.
Amen. Amen.
Don't give them chance to start a whole new set of BS.
They find it the next time they boot up the game. Wait, I can't do that anymore. Right.
Good.
You know, it's
Learn other ways.
Yep.
I think it's
You're a gamer. We're supposed to adapt.
learn how to play the game the way it was meant to be played.
It's a
Fair,
win-win
fun.
situation. It's a win-win situation for us, those who play the game the way it is, because now you're going to get a whole subgroup of people, because of the patch, who are now going to be playing their Wii U's offline for fear of the game updating automatically. So we'll never play with those guys.
Yep.
So that's good. It's a natural level of segregation. Cool.
Segregation is never good.
It's
Best way to sum it up.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to comment on that one. Anyway, guys,
Segregation is
any
never
final
good.
words before we wrap up?
Yay.
Nope. That's it.
Stop bitching about good games. That's all I'm gonna say.
Amen to that.
Sudden death, 300% damage. All Pikachu.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Fox only, no item. Final destination. Let's go.
Oh, well, I got one last comment. Thank you, Nintendo. Thank you, Sakurai, for making a ranking system where no one will ever know whether they're the best or not.
But
You
in
hear me
turn,
clapping?
yeah. But in turn, we'll start an entire argument about whose number is higher. Trust me. There's always going to be a way.
Out of the world.
They're going to start a whole website. It's like, yo, my number is 5 billion or whatever.
When it's over 9,000, we'll be making a video saying it's over 9,000.
Silence is golden. Anyways, guys. All right, let's wrap this up. It's been almost 2 hours now, way longer than I wanted it to go. But before we, like I said, any final thoughts before we start doing our outros?
No, I guess that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, well then we'll start from the other direction this time. Zen.
Okay, people, you know who it is. Ninja, the Zen Gamer, the one only King of Logic. Check out the ZGZ. That is the Zen Gamer Zone. If you like what you see, subscribe and all that good stuff. I have content coming, including a new Z's analysis. I'm procrastinating right now. Just give me a chance. I'm being very lazy with it, and I
Hurry the hell
know.
up. Sorry.
So, go there, do all of that, and thanks for watching.
Cool. All right, Red, you're up.
This is Mr. Red Fox. My mind just blanked out on me, so I don't have anything cool to say. But watch my videos, rate, comment, subscribe. Yeah, keep on gaming.
All right, Mr. T, you up, fool?
Hey, fools, it's your boy, Mr. T. Enjoyed the discussion as always. Be prepared for tea time dropping sometime this evening or early morning or something like that, and butts will be hurt.
Oh, I'm definitely doing
Yeah.
that. Ken, you're up, my friend.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dr. Feelgood here. I do apologize about the double cherry earlier. But anyway, as I always say, keep it gaming.
All right, Jamie, you're up.
Well, guys, it's been fun. I think after this conversation, I'm just more hyped about Smash Brothers and a little more angry about Gamersgate, but that's just me. So,
Yeah.
anyway, guys, be sure to check me out. I am Butterworthy.
Word. All right, Games, you're up.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, hopefully you like this episode and yeah, make a gamer, man. How's it? Yeah, basically that's it. You know, whatever. Go away now.
Wow. Get more and more off drum.
Right. Twilight, you're up, my friend.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. That's it.
What the hell was that?
Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
fools.
That's Smash, yo.
Oh wow.
Exposed.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, Beer, you're up, my friend.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks a lot for having me on here. This is Bearhugger29. Sorry for not being so talkative. I was dealing with family-related drama when I had myself muted for the whole entire damn thing, pretty much. But I'm fine now. Yeah, I was glad to be here, even though I barely said crap all. But whatever.
All right, guys, and it's me, the Good Shepherd. I have to apologize. I name dropped. We don't roll that way in the game is at large. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this episode. Have a great evening. Oh, by the way, support Operation Platinum, y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
Man, let it
Good
to a
cause.
million.
Buy Wonderful 101 while you're at it.
Yeah, Wonderful 101. Gotta get that game.
You will
There's
not be
a lot of other
disappointed.
good games.
And
But
look up
anyways.
Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe, if you can get that. Oh my god. But anyways, y'all have a good night. We're out.
I
I
hate
take the
I.
evil.
I get the bed.